What is going on, all of you Playdate gamers and crank enthusiasts out there in the world? I'm Mega Am, so thank you for watching this video, whether you are a new or returning viewer. Appreciate you stopping by. I am back with week 3 of Playdate Season 2. The next couple games on the list here are Long Puppy and Otto's Galactic Groove. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the swing of things here, starting with Long Puppy. This is made by Indiana-Jonas. Name sounds familiar. I think might have done another Season 2 or even Season 1 game here. But the synopsis here, you are Long Puppy and it's the best time of day. It's time to play fetch. Unfortunately, your owner has terrible aim and the ball tends to end up in trees, inside people's homes, and even in freshly dug graves. To reach the ball, you have to eat food and grow even longer, but try to go fast because a certain other dog might be jealous. Got all the different features here. I love that poop is the feature. It is a gameplay feature in this game. Shout out again to all the developers here. But yeah, so this game, I mean, not to spoil the next game as well, but really good week, I thought, for Playdate Season 2. Long Puppy is fun because it's kind of like a puzzle platformer in a way, where you play as this dog, I believe it's a Dachshund in the game, that will grow longer the more stuff that he eats. And so the objective is what you're trying to do is kind of move around, find different food. You can like sniff certain objects that will reveal food. There's also like a little sniff map that shows up that pauses the game, and it kind of shows you general to where you are. It's not a very detailed map, but it'll show you general areas about where other food is hidden. And you're trying to essentially grow really long to where you can access the tennis ball that your owner throws and then bring it back to him. Now, what I love about both of these games here, but especially this one, it heavily utilizes the crank to where it's very precise. You rotate the dog's head and essentially its direction of movement with the crank, and then you'll like extend with the D-pad up or down. And it can be a little finicky, I will say, in terms of like getting it right. But it's a learning curve, but it's really fun when executing and like figuring out how to get through the narrow passageways and get through all sorts of areas to get the food and become even longer. There's a completion per level. There's a set number of levels, and there is a completion based on the food you get. And there's also this, it's like the pee journal or something. Essentially, you like sniff a spot of pee, and then you learn about some little like blurb. It's like a hidden object in every level that's separate from the food. It's another collectible. Now, the kind of twist to this gameplay, you'll see in the top center, that's the timer. And so what happens is that, like I said before, you're trying to go for the ball that your owner threw somewhere haphazardly, and you're trying to fetch it and bring it back to the owner. You start at the owner's, this little stick figure here. Kind of primitive graphics, but in a fun way. I think it's really charming. You're trying to get the tennis ball and bring it back to him. But what happens is when you retrieve the tennis ball, the owner's previous bad dog, he calls him, shows up, and he's a ghost, so because he's dead essentially, and he's trying to chase after you, and he will snatch the ball from you and then start to attack you. Now, this also happens if the timer runs out. The timer is actually not for level completion, it's just a countdown until the dog appears. So whether you get the tennis ball first or the timer runs out, the dog will appear and will steal the ball from you if you get it, and then it'll start to pretty much chomp on you and try to essentially kill you, which is a little stressful. This is, I think, that's not really a criticism of the game, it's just my stress point, where I mentioned earlier the controls could be a little finicky, and the reason for that is not in the gameplay itself, like it's very precise. But the problem is that I've made so many like slip-ups because I have to be like perfect with like where I'm moving when I'm getting chased by the ghost of that bad dog, when I have a tennis ball and I'm just trying to speed run and get to the end. It's usually best if you can collect all the food before you get the tennis ball, but there are a lot of cases where you can't, and then it's a linear path back. But most of the time, you can kind of maneuver around whichever way you want to go. There are some blocked off paths. You have to like open doors or go through grates and open them up. And there's a lot of fun different level designs you encounter along the way. It is really fun. And unfortunately, I didn't mention this, but I really didn't have a lot of time with this game or the next game this week, just because I was away on a trip. But what I did get to play was really, really fun. And this is one I kind of want to go back and there's not a ton of levels, so I want to go back and play some more of those. But they all feel unique and they're fun to navigate. But that is Long Puppy. Let's move on to Otto's Galactic Groove. This is made by Team Otto. Makes sense. Alien music producer Tomi needs inspiration. In this rhythm action game designed specifically for the Playdate console, it's up to her pet space sea slug Otto to find it in the furthest corners of the galaxy. Travel the stars, explore planets full of quirky characters with their own unique musical styles and storylines. You can play your way, choose from 3 difficulty levels, and you can tweak. You can compete online. Oh, I didn't even... A web-based level editor? That's crazy. Also includes 14 bonus tracks with some of the best soundtracks on Playdate, including Gun Trails of Bloom and Realistic Fishing. That's awesome. Shout out to all these developers individually here. This one's cool. This is a very fun game. So this is a rhythm game, if you couldn't tell. You're playing as this little, I guess, sea slug apparently called Otto that is traveling throughout kind of the galaxy to learn inspiration for your owner for different types of music. And what that means is that you go to a planet and you'll have like 2 songs that you play through. Rhythm games, I haven't always played a lot of them, but this one is fun. You use the crank to slide the cursor up and down the screen as you're seeing on the right, and then you'll press like the A or B button or whichever one you want to time it with the notes. And what's fun is you'll get like some of those notes that slide up and down, which isn't really unique to rhythm games, but it's unique to the Playdate where you're using the crank rather than like a D-pad or whatever, or like a guitar strum and a Guitar Hero controller to move the cursor to hit the notes. It can be tricky. I played this on, I think it was technically hard difficulty. It was whatever the medium level difficulty was, and I had a blast for as much as I did play it. The art's really charming. The music is fantastic. Like, genuinely was surprised. The cutscenes are presented in this kind of like comic book style. It's really cute and looks really, really good, honestly. And just fun to meet like all these different characters that have like this witty dialogue, and they're like, "Bro, let's jam together." And then as you do these different songs. But yeah, so you're exploring the galaxy. Each planet tends to have 2 songs, and varying all sorts of different genres, at least from what I've played. And I'm sure there's plenty more that I haven't played. But really, really fun themed areas and different songs that go along with them. And it's a fun time. I will say, I don't think there's anything super unique about the gameplay itself in terms of like, you've played a game like this on another system before, but I think having the crank be utilized to position the cursor to then hit the notes right is really what makes this feel so fun and fresh, and the music's really good, which is important for a game like this, right? And so it's really fun to just be going through and doing that. This is another one that I wish I had played more of and I want to play more of, but again, I love to see the crank really fully being utilized, because even though the genre isn't unique, adding a crank to the gameplay makes this stand out on its own. And so it's super duper fun. This is one I'd want to go back to, maybe even play on a harder difficulty, but I definitely struggled a lot. I have this issue with the Playdate where like the A button tends to stick sometimes, and I think that was screwing up some of my inputs here. I don't think there was any like delay or anything. There might have been on the headphones, to be honest, like slightly. You do not want to delay on a game like this, so definitely use good extremely low latency headphones plugged in if you can. Definitely, I think the game requires you to use headphones, actually. I don't think it even works on the speaker. I think there's a little disclaimer up front, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it's really fun. Wish I had more time with this. I really feel like I didn't, but what I did play was really, really fun. Again, not like unique to a gameplay style, but adding a unique control scheme with the crank, I think makes it really, really fun, albeit pretty tricky, you know, so it's definitely... Both of these games, this and Long Puppy, are very precise games, so something to keep in mind as you check them out. But a really good week overall with these 2. That's going to do it for this week for Playdate Season 2, though. So thank you so much for watching. If you did, let me know your thoughts on the comments below on both Long Puppy and Otto's Galactic Groove. I'll be back next week with week 4. We're just about halfway through, so... still plenty more Playdate games to check out, but so far going pretty strong. With that though, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all on the next video or live stream, and until then, keep on cranking.